New mammogram guidelines. They've got many cancer survivors and patients not only shaking their heads, it's leaving many more confused than ever before.
Yeah, the American Cancer Society is suggesting to postpone screenings by 5 years, a suggestion many say you may want to disregard.
45 is outrageous to me. If I waited so long, I'd be dead.
2 years ago, 40-year-old Terry Cantrell was a happy newlywed when her life turned upside down.
I went from the highest, most happiest point in my life to devastation.
After feeling a lump in her chest, she went to her doctor, who encouraged her to have her first mammogram. The diagnosis, stage 2 breast cancer.
It didn't run in my family. There was no recommendations. There was nothing.
Cantrell is among the 1 out of every 8 women who will be diagnosed with breast cancer before age 45. The same age, the American Cancer Society now suggests women at average risk should begin annual mammograms 5 years later than it had previously recommended. They also recommend women older than 54 be screened every other year. And doctors no longer need to perform breast exams during women's checkups because there's no sign it saves lives.
There is insufficient evidence. That doesn't mean that there is no evidence.
Dr. Bala says the new recommendations are simply guidelines for doctors to follow.
When it comes to patient care, the individual patient values and preferences and their risk factors trumps these guidelines.
For Cantrell, the new recommendations are frustrating. Her diagnosis, proof. Cancer knows no age.
If you find anything or just your gut telling you, get it checked out, no matter your age.
Now, as part of the new recommendations, the American Cancer Society asked UC Davis researchers to find one group of women that could safely benefit from not getting a mammogram every year. Researchers say they found one postmenopausal woman.
So women screening every other year were diagnosed with similar tumor characteristics as women screening annually. This suggests that postmenopausal women can be safely screened every other year.
The research suggests postmenopausal women experience slowed breast cancer growth, while premenopausal women are at a higher risk of developing the disease. So considering all of that, perhaps you're wondering where many local doctors stand on the issue.
According to Peninsula Imaging, their radiologists are accredited by the American College of Radiology. They are going to abide by their guidelines, which continue to recommend women get yearly mammograms starting at the age of 40. Now, additionally, the American Cancer Society has strongly reaffirmed that mammography screening saves lives.
The new ACS guidelines show that if a woman wants to reduce as much as possible her risk of dying of breast cancer, she will choose yearly mammography starting at age 40.
Now, every year, thousands of women in the United States are told they have a very early stage of breast cancer. Some of those women go on to get extensive surgery to remove the lump or even both breasts.
But some doctors are taking issue with a recent study saying going to such great lengths may not be necessary. Health officials say breast cancer at stage 0 is not deadly, and the women who treat it have the same outcome of women who don't. However, doctors say that is misleading.
Amber Gall is one of 60,000 women diagnosed each year with stage 0 breast cancer. When a routine mammogram found her cancer, at first she felt shock and fear. In the past, she's watched loved ones lose their battle with cancer.
I have a lot of experience watching it happen, and it's the worst thing I could ever imagine.
Amber had a double mastectomy and has no regrets.
I just don't want to mess around.
At stage 0, the cancer cells are not considered dangerous.
It's not cancer, it's pre-cancer. So that's the first thing that we have to correct, that this is stage 0. You cannot die from this. But that there is a certain percentage of people who may progress to invasive cancer, which is why we want to treat this.
Thousands are taking the same preventative steps as Amber. Lumpectomies and mastectomies are standard of care. But a new study published by JAMA Oncology finds patients who got the surgeries have a 3.3% chance of dying, the same chance as a woman who did not get the treatment. Dr. Amon cautions women against the study and urges them to talk with their doctor.
All the information that we have right now, you should still go to surgery.
Amber wasn't taking any chances. She says she wants to be around to raise her son.
Yes, I get to be there. I get to hold grandkids.
Dr. Amon is part of a national trial that started this past May. They want to get hard data on whether women with stage 0 breast cancer would benefit more by watching and waiting while being treated with medication before getting the surgery. And it seems like there's just so many decisions to make.
Yeah, and a decision either way. It's got to be incredibly difficult to make on this. But women are not alone in this. Coming up next, we're going to introduce you to a man who supported his wife through her diagnosis, only to find out that he too had cancer. We're going to hear his advice to all of us men next.
Plus, social media is a way many stay in contact with family and friends, and in some cases, it also is a way to save lives. We share the story of how a thank you led her friend to take action and save her life. But first, we're talking a lot about breast cancer today. Dr. Oz says there's another cancer that also affects many people, skin cancer.
Hi, I'm Dr. Oz. The latest skin cancer numbers are staggering. Each year, there are more new cases than breast, colon, prostate, and lung cancer combined. So never skimp on sunscreen. The sun's rays can do damage, even on cloudy days. And be your own expert. Check your skin for suspicious moles once a month.